And what are your thoughts on intersectionality?
That's a rough one for me. I was trying to explain to my husband earlier because he was like, "What does that mean?" Because we were watching some of the other interviews, and I was explaining that if everyone branched themselves off only on their, like, let's say, I'm a conservative, but I don't believe in guns. This conservative over here believes there should be no abortion.
Mhm.
But we have agree on that, but we have different religions and different other pass points, but that's where we intersect. And I said if every movement kicked out people that didn't align perfectly, there'd be no movements, because nobody's going to fit into a cookie cutter.
Mhm.
But I feel like at this point, it's almost being abused. Like, we have to stand together, even if you absolutely don't believe in this thing that I believe in. We have to stand together. It's never going to change. And it's a lot of fear mongering, I
Mhm.
noticed, when people use the buzzword. I think it had good intentions, but I think it's been abused. Does
Right.
that make sense?
I agree 100%. I think it had good intentions. I totally understand the theory and intent behind the concept of intersectionality. Different people face different problems. Some have more privilege than others. We're all there. I'm there with you. I get it. I agree. Right? But I do think that feminists and people in general have abused the concept. And I've seen it be abused in the internet. And I feel like if, even though these things may be true, it doesn't give you the right to judge individuals, and it doesn't give you the right to make people feel bad about the groups that they happen to belong to. All of the groups that people belong to, they belong to by chance. I did not choose to be black. Somebody did not choose to be white. I did not choose to be a woman. I did not choose to be heterosexual. I did not choose whatever may be my group. So it is by chance. So you cannot use someone's group to put them down, to make them feel bad, it's abuse. There's no, I don't know, to me that's just, it is abuse. It is an abusive, weird, strange thing to do. I don't have a problem with you analyzing society and saying that on an analytical level these groups exist, and if you belong to a majority group, you tend to have life easier because you fit in and you didn't face this and this problem. If you belong to this group, you tend to have this and this problem. No problems. You can do that and you can write your papers and you can, but just don't reach individuals, don't reach to normal people, and then start to tell normal people in everyday life and on the internet, you're privileged because you look a certain way. You're privileged
Yeah.
because you have these genitals. You're privileged because this is just like, it's insanity because you don't know that person. You don't know how much that person struggles with this or that or whatever. You have no idea what that person is going through. And you think that you could judge them because you read a book or because you're a feminist and somebody told you that this theory makes sense. It's hurtful, it's mean, it's abusive, it's all those things. I just think we really shouldn't judge each other. We should be very, nice to each other, kind to everyone, and don't judge. But write your books if you want,
I think it comes from a survival instinct in caveman brain that we have, where we start categorizing based on our experiences. And I think it really takes thinking deeper to be able to break away from that instinctual thing to say, this person looked like this and hurt me, therefore anyone who looks like this, or this person was this and did this bad thing, so anyone who is like that. I think that back in, like I said, the
it's
ancient days, that made
discrimination.
sense.
It gives,
But
it
in this day
opens.
and age, it really doesn't, and
Yeah,
we
yeah.
should be evolved from that and thinking deeper and seeing that everyone has their own experience and everyone's going to be very different. And I've always used to say, I don't care how you vote or who you are, what you look like. As long as you're nice to me, I'm going to be nice to you. We could disagree on every other level, but as long as we can
Right.
shake hands, we're good people.
Right.
And
Yeah.
if point that you're so against, and I'm not saying I'm saintly and better, and I don't
No.
do that. I have my own biases that I have to pay attention to and work towards
Mhm.
due to my own background. But I try to remember that we are such complex humans. There's so much that happens in our development, and even so much as being raised in a different house, in a different culture, in a different society, in a different language barrier, whatever. It's all going to add different shapes to what make us.
I
We're
agree.
all going to be
And
built,
there's
and
so many intersections, as they say. I mean, it's not just going to be race, gender, sexuality. Those are like three of them. And if are you going to tell me that you are going to consider the hundreds of intersectionals that make up a human? I mean, there's so much, you can't consider those things because you can't know those things about a person unless you get to know them. You understand?
Exactly.
The
And that's why I think it is important to find common ground with people, even people you don't agree with. If you can find some common ground, there's a little more unity there.
right.
And that is it, because we are such detailed and complex individuals. We're going to have some things somewhere. There's not going to be somebody you would disagree with on every single level of everything. Even if it's just, I like the color green and you also like the color green. Now we have something common to talk about. It could be something basic or something really deep. But if you lined up another woman, my age, my height, brown hair, glasses, raised in this kind of family, and we stood side by side, we'd still have differences. Nobody is a carbon copy of another. And I think that's where things get dangerous, not just in feminism, but a lot of the isms that are out there now, is it's almost there has to be a hive mentality or you're not accepted.
I agree.
There's not a diversity of thought.
Yeah, that's why I keep saying women against feminism, how we have that. It is not an ideology. It is not such a group where anybody is going to tell somebody how to think. I just want to know how women think. I don't want to know, we cannot, this hive mind, as you say, you have to, no. You are an individual, you will have your thoughts however you analyze the world, and that should be accepted by, you don't need to belong to groups, really, this may cut.
Yeah, I mean, I get why we do, because as humans, we're looking for companionship and community. But sometimes I notice that too, is when you get into the more toxic movements, they are people who were abandoned and really don't have groups that they belong to. And they finally found somewhere that accepts them in, so they're willing to.
That's true. And I also face that.
Talking points.
Right. And I also face that personally, because I am somebody who is not religious, yet I am traditional. So it's a really difficult, I don't know where I fit, because I have a lot of traditional in me, but I have a lot of liberal in me. So, okay.